Hello everyone, it's Kathy and Rosie Vesperina, and this is a little bit of a different one tonight, only because this is being recorded in the evening, so it's around just before sunset, and Fee and I decided that we needed to practice our nighttime riding. So the plan is for me to ride up to where she is at Hamlyn Terrace, and then we would ride back home again via, I guess, Baddo Bay, but it did mean that we will need to ride on Wilfred Barrett Drive at night with very little lights on the road, so that part is a little bit scary to me. But this video is just for me from getting from home to Hamlyn Terrace, so this is part one. The second part of it, the trip from Hamlyn Terrace back home again, the long way round, I did film, but I'm not quite sure about the quality, and so we'll have a look at it and decide whether we can use it in an upcoming video. So right now we've been through Wyoming and we're heading up through Narara on our usual route that we've been lots of times before. Plenty of lovely greenery, which is beautiful. I have to say that getting back on Rosie after doing some riding with Ruby Renfield has been quite an adjustment. It's a very different feel, and now Rosie Vesperina feels a bit like a toy scooter compared to Ruby Renfield. So it just takes a little bit of getting used to transitioning between the two. Maybe in the next video I'll give you another update on where we're at with Ruby Renfield. But for now, we are now heading up we've been up through Arimba. You can see that it is getting darker now, and my vision is a little bit funky. So it is, I wear glasses, and you've seen me in videos wearing glasses. I wear glasses when I ride. Ironically, I don't need glasses to pass the driving test or the riding test. In fact, my license doesn't say I need to wear glasses, and my photo on my license is a photo without glasses, and so I can see without my glasses on, but the glasses just make everything that little bit more crisper, I guess. What I'm not good with is probably close up, and that's where the glasses help more, I think. But the prescription for each eye is a little bit different. So driving and riding at night is a little bit tricky for me because of that. I often find the lights on the cars and bikes coming in the opposite direction flare quite a bit in my glasses and feel a bit blinding, so I have to be cautious about where I look, and obviously I'm looking to where I'm riding, but it's just a bit tricky. So we've come up through Arimba, past the Heatherbrae Pie, and up this little windy bit that I love, that I've mentioned before. There's always lots of accidents in the past that have happened here, but the road is in good condition now. It's just a little bit trickier with the light dipping a little bit. I mentioned that I have organised my ride in Nepal in October, my day ride. I still have the choice of either the scooter or a geared bike, and the geared bike of choice is a Royal Enfield, and so I've just asked them to clarify the route that we'll be taking, and then I can decide which bike. so that part's exciting. In July I head to Krabi in Thailand, and my friend did ask me whether I was planning to ride there, and my friend whose birthday I'm going for, and I just decided I would wait and see what the traffic is like in Krabi. If it's anything like what I remember Bangkok is like, and granted it's probably been 25 years since I've been to Bangkok, but I remember the traffic being very hectic, and so if the traffic is like that in Krabi, I probably won't. But if it's a little bit more tranquil, it won't be tranquil. If it's just a little bit less hectic in Krabi, then I will ride. The males in the group that are going all ride, and so we may go out as a little group on a scooter, perhaps, but we'll see, and we'll see what the weather's like. I think at that time of year in July it is the rainy season perhaps, and so that will impact whether we ride or not, and everything else we do. I am on the hunt for pannier bags for Ruby Renfield. I think I showed you in the last video the tail bag. I ended up upgrading to the next size up of the tail bag because I just needed a little bit more room, but I am thinking about overnight trips on Ruby Renfield when the time is right, and that will require more luggage. So I can't tell you how many pannier bag setups I've looked at. I found a set that I really liked, but to get them shipped here it's going to be $1,200, and so that seems very expensive considering Ruby only cost me $5,000. So I'm still looking for that. I did put the handlebar weights, replace those on the end because I told her that they had got a bit scuffed with the previous owner, so they're nice and new. And I also have some lever controls to replace, which I will talk you through in the next Ruby Renfield video, I think. So now we have just gone past Tuggerah train station on our left, plenty of shops on our right, and on our right is the petrol station where we usually catch up with or meet other people if we're going for a ride up this end of the coast. Now, an interesting thing that I went to on Friday night was, I don't really know what it's called. I think it was just called Bike Night, and it was up here in Tuggerah, and everybody comes on their bike and has a bit of a chit chat with everybody else. Now we're going up through Wyong. So Wyong train station on our left. As a bit of a side note, I used to work here to the right when I worked in rehab many years ago as a psychologist. And there's a bakery called Legends Bakery that we just passed on the left that had the best cakes, and if we ever had a special morning tea we would come down to Legends Bakery and get their amazing cakes. I loved them. Anyway, back to bike night. So there were so many people at this bike night, so many bikes, a lot of Harley Davidsons, and they were very pretty, very nice looking bikes. So we did a little wander around and looked at the bikes. I think for those bike nights it would be great if some local food truck companies got on board and sort of camped out in the car park to offer food and what have you, because I think that would be a big seller for the people that are at bike night, to sort of look at bikes and get some food. So we did that, and then we decided to ride to Terrigal, so from Tuggerah to Terrigal out through Baddow Bay, and parked up at the surf club and got some pizzas and just sat by the beach and ate the pizzas. I had not been to Terrigal in the evening for I couldn't tell you how long, and it was really nice to sit out there. It is starting to get a bit cold now. We're mid-April, mid to late April actually, so it is starting to get a bit cold now, but it was really lovely just sitting at the beach eating the pizzas, and it was a good experience in riding in the dark. So this ride is obviously at dusk, but that ride on that Friday night was definitely in the dark. So we're coming up through, I'm not quite sure what this suburb is called here, but you can see it's significantly darker. I'm feeling significantly more nervous, but I'm doing okay. I think what makes me nervous is that people can still see me, and I have a fluoro vest, but I hadn't put it on at this stage. When I do the section from Hamlyn Terrace back home again, I put the fluoro vest on, because I do believe that it's up to me to make myself as visible and as safe as possible, particularly at night time. So red jacket, red rosy Vesperina, and the fluoro is probably the best I can do. I also replaced the stickers on my helmet, my AGV helmet, I think is what it's called. It had lots of flower stickers over it, but the flower stickers don't really suit Ruby Renfield, and so I've taken them off. I've still got stickers on Rosie Vesperina on her tummy area. I don't know what that area is called, but I swapped out the colourful flower stickers on my helmet to just red flowers, and so still flower themed, but just a little bit more subdued, I guess, and so that way it suits both Ruby Renfield and Rosie Vesperina. So I think we're still in the Wyong area, because we are going to go up past Wyong Hospital. So technically we're still in the Wyong area, I think. And just up here a little bit now, I think we're probably Woongarra. That's a mouthful to say. Woongarra. And we will turn left off this is the Pacific Highway, off this main Pacific Highway and into the housing areas very shortly. You can see that the road looks a little bit wet. We had rain previously, and so that makes me a little bit more nervous as well, riding on the wet roads, but or not wet now, but damp roads. But Rosie seems to manage it perfectly well. She's not nervous. I'm the one that's nervous. So here we are turning off now into the suburban sorts of areas, so off from a 70k down to the 50k zone. When I have my Garmin Zumo attached to Rosie, then it helps me to tell me what the speed limit is on particular streets, because it comes up on the screen. And as I've said before, Rosie tends to overestimate her capabilities, and I have read on lots of forums that is the case with lots of motorbikes, that the manufacturers overestimate the speed for safety reasons and to pass whatever tests they have to pass. So I'm probably doing 53 or 54 according to Rosie, but Mr. Garmin Zumo says around 50. I've actually never ridden in these areas before. I've only ever sort of come past them on the Pacific Highway, and they're quite nice. The streets are wide, nice houses. I just love that kind of pink hue that is in the sky ahead there. It looks beautiful. Round we go. Almost there. So for the moment, the lights of the other cars aren't annoying me too much. Oh, I feel like I cut the corner there a little bit. That was a bit naughty. I like these windy streets. They're a bit fun to ride around at a proper speed, of course. And I think we've only got a couple more turns, or one more turn, and we will find where we need to be. I think. Maybe this one. Maybe this one or one more. Let's see. No, I think it's this one, because there's Rhonda Honda. So there's Fiona's Rhonda Honda. She hasn't sold this one yet. This is her 125. She hasn't sold that one yet. As you know, she brought the Honda Rebel 500, but she still has the 125 that she's trying to sell. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.